good afternoon, and welcome to Wolfie and the Dutch, where it's always the afternoon.
Wolfie.
And I'm the Dutch.
And welcome to a slow afternoon. It's going to be a chill one, because, there wasn't much to talk about this time around.
Truly, there wasn't.
But I mean, that's okay. Sometimes our best afternoons are the most chill afternoons.
It's true.
So to get us started off, we'll do a little console news, I guess. So the Nintendo NX, which is gonna be Nintendo's big next console, there. I don't know what generation it is, 5 or 6 now, right?
Oh, dude, I've lost track.
I can't remember. Probably 5, off the top of my head for them.
5, yeah.
There's been some investigative journalism where this isn't confirmed by Nintendo, but there's so many corroborating sources and everything seems to equal up to this.
Okay.
And it sounds like something Nintendo would do, right? So from the looks of it and the sounds of it, this next console is going to be a handheld mixed with just a regular console.
Okay, that makes kind of sense,
I guess. I mean, so basically you've got what looks like the Wii U gamepad, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess there's, if you look at the Wii U gamepad, there's you got your tablet looking thing in the middle, and then you've got your controls on both sides of it, on the left and the right.
Yeah.
So for the NX, it sounds like that portion of it will be the DS kind of mobile device game console, right? And then when you're playing on the TV, it's those two pieces will detach off of the tablet portion so that you can play it up on the TV. And then there's gonna be, from what I understand, it'll be kind of like a docking station, I suppose, that is gonna power the TV portion of it. So I'm pretty sure they've got their own built-in hardware for the tablet portion, and then they're gonna have a separate box for the TV. Is what I've gathered from everything.
That's an interesting concept. That could really revolutionize. Well, it could potentially revolutionize modern mobile gaming, if that makes sense.
Right, and console gaming in general, because right now, the PlayStations and the Xboxes are all kind of moving towards just being a computer, like just a pre-built box with a controller, which is fine with me, because I don't know, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as they start upping the power on the boxes, because it's getting ridiculous how they're just coming out so far behind. I know when you buy it, you're already behind, but this time it really felt like, they were behind. But the NX, it also kind of sounds like they're not going to put in the hardware they need again, like they did with the Wii U. When the Wii U came out, it was super behind the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Absolutely. Even the regular Wii, where when we were first introduced to this moving while playing video games thing, the just on graphics, there was no comparison at all, because it's like the difference between a VHS on an old box TV to a Blu-ray on a plasma or on an LCD or on one of those fancy rounded TVs.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the graphics on say Super Mario Galaxy were very pretty, but they were also very stylized. You can only do, they still look good today, which I guess is a testament to that style. But it's you could only ever do that style. You couldn't do any other style.
When they tried to do some shooters I believe, on the Wii, and they just looked so bad. I don't remember if it was like it might have been like Left 4 Dead or Resident Evil or something like that.
I think they tried to do Call of Duty.
Maybe it was Call of Duty. I don't know. It was a shooting one that had zombies. It was just not good.
No, it didn't look good, and that becomes the problem of like the third-party developers didn't want to develop for those systems.
Absolutely.
And listen, okay, I get that Nintendo fanboys are like, well, we don't really care about that stuff because we just want Mario and Zelda and Pokemon, and that's it. That's all we care about is the Nintendo side. Yeah, and that's fine. I also like those games, but you make your most money from the games. Like the consoles, Nintendo's a little bit different that they sell their consoles for a profit, which Microsoft and Sony don't do. They make all their money off of the games because that's where you make your money from. And they did not make any money off of the Wii U. They didn't make any money at the end of the day. They would be lucky if they broke even off of everything that happened.
Yeah, so, the Wii U, I've only played it once, and the only reason that I even considered, like, it was at a friend's house. Like, we played some Smash.
You played Smash Bros, yep.
Absolutely. And I was like, oh man, I super need to get a Wii U. And
same here,
it was
man.
like, I looked at the game list, and it was like, it's literally just Smash that I want to play.
Definitely, that was their console mover.
Absolutely.
They didn't even have a Legend of Zelda,
man. No.
Yeah, it's just because Smash Bros is so much fun to play.
So much fun,
and it's always been so much fun. Then again,
you plug in the old 64 and play Smash. You're gonna have just as much fun.
I actually did that this weekend, and I will say that yes, I did have just as much fun.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
And it's just like, it's one of those things of I want Nintendo to succeed, and I would actually at this point I might because very few people buy all three consoles, right? Like, you got to remember that.
Oh yeah,
the majority of people buy one console, and it's usually because your friends have it. That's why we bought Xboxes. Our friends have it. Like, that's what our group of friends play. Yeah. So if you're going to get people to shift and buy even two consoles, right? Nintendo is special where they have enough of their own first-party games that are different enough that you would go over, you'd either buy Sony or Microsoft and then the Nintendo one, because there's so many different stuff, right? Yeah. I don't think you really need to buy an Xbox and a PS4. There's just not enough games. Exclusive games right now to
I can see if you did that just to convert to another console to hang out with other people.
Right, exactly. So
that's the only way I could see that.
I do want Nintendo to succeed, but I'm getting tired of their innovation. I don't know if that's bad, but it's like, sometimes, man, I don't want to be moving around. I just want to be able to sit, like, after I've done my hard work, I've gone to work, I've come home, I've made myself supper. I just want to veg out on a couch. I can't be moving around, like, I'm tired. I just need to turn my brain off for a little bit. And I'm either going to do that by playing Halo or watching Netflix. And I could do that. I used to do it by, like, playing the NES, playing Mario Bros, man. Super Mario Bros. 3. Absolutely. Which you are fantastically bad at. I've never seen somebody...
We're not talking about this. That's not on the list of things to talk about.
Dutch, I've literally never seen anybody who's good at video games. Like, you're good. You are good at pretty much everything else you play. Good to great. But there's something about when you put the NES controller in your hand, it's just terrible. The NES. It's two buttons, not just the man. NES.
It's specifically Mario. It's any Mario game, any generation. I suck at it.
I don't understand. It's two buttons. It's jump and move, and you can't do either of them. I know.
I couldn't play Mario on the NES or on the SNES or on the 64 or even on the freaking GameCube. I could not play Mario at all, worth anything.
Like, I remember when
It's
we were hanging out, like 2 years ago, we pulled out my NES to play Super Mario Bros. And we were playing, and it was like, I was beating it was Super Mario Bros. 3. And I was the one beating all of the levels. Yeah, you beat one
I beat
level.
one. And I almost got to the end of one of the castles.
It's not like we played like 2 levels. We played like 90% of the game. We didn't quite beat it.
Yeah.
Because it was like 6
hours.
in the morning. And I remember 6 in the morning,
and you were like, "You suck," and you unplugged.
I remember halfway through, I looked over at you and I was like, "You can't be serious at this point." Like, it was funny for the first hour, and now it's not funny anymore. Like, man, I've never seen anybody so bad.
That's the only game I cannot play.
I don't get it. Anyways, Xbox One, their slim version came out very recently. Within, I remember we set a date. I think it was August 3rd it came out. And the reviews seem positive, man. Like, people seem to, the people that have gotten them and have been using them seem to actually really like them. I think a lot of people were like, well, the new Xbox Scorpio, which is their next generation, is coming out like next year, so what's the point?
Yeah.
Which I understand, but I think, I don't know, it's just the fact that it's slimmer, like it's really not just like all the dimensions, height, width, everything is 40% smaller. It's quite a bit different. The power brick is inside of it, which is great.
Yeah, really compact.
They replaced the sensor, like to turn on the Xbox, with an actual button, which doesn't appeal to me. I kind of like the sensor because it makes me feel like I'm in the future.
You just touch it and it's like, ba-ding.
Yeah. What else? It outputs like 4K resolution and stuff, but there's not a lot of 4K stuff out there anyways, like at this point.
Yeah,
so that's kind of whatever. Oh, it seems good. Oh, there's no Kinect slot either. You have to buy a separate attachment
that's awesome.
For that. So it sounds like the Kinect is dead for now. It's dead and gone, which I'm fine with because it's stupid and it's dumb and I hate it.
How why don't you tell us how you really feel there, Wolfie?
No, it's stupid and it's dumb and I hate it. Like, I cannot stand the Kinect. I think it's one of the worst business decisions in the last 10 years.
That's fair.
You want to talk about, like, the Wii U being a disaster? No. The Kinect was an absolute disaster.
Yeah, it was a train wreck.
How do you even let it get that far? They had to have meetings and stuff about it. Right?
I remember...
I've played it, and it's stupid, and it's dumb, and I hate it.
I remember we got a Kinect the year that it came out. Somebody gave one to me for Christmas, I think. It's like an old relative or something like that. And we were like, hey, this is sweet. Let's try this thing out. And literally the games are, well, when it first came out, the games that were designed specifically for it were stand in front of the camera and plug holes in invisible glass so that the water doesn't seep through. Like, that was the kind of games that it was.
And that's the only games that ever came out for it.
Yeah. Like, I think there were some, like, actual games where they incorporated it so you could use voice controls, but other than that, it is not what anybody wanted it to be.
Like, Mass Effect 3 tried to use it, and there's a video on the internet of somebody being like, move, team, move, team, move. And it's just, there's nothing. There's absolutely, it's like he's yelling at a wall. It's so
Which he
bad.
Literally is, yelling at a wall.
Yeah, pretty much. And, like, the space you needed for it, like, you had to clear, like,
it was ridiculous.
Your whole living room. Yeah. And then, like, there was, like, the whole debacle of, like, everybody has flat screen TVs now, right? Like, nobody has the boxes. And that thing is supposed to sit on top of your TV. It's like, well, it's not going to because it can't.
Yeah.
So, it's just abysmal.
Train wreck.
Yeah. So I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah, let's. I
hope it's dead and gone.
Let's move on from the stupid Kinect.
Speaking of bad business decisions, Pokemon Go made a few.
Yeah.
Did you like
Speaking
that?
of, I really did like that. That was an excellent segue. All right, carry
Thank you.
on
I
with your
didn't think it
thought.
would get you that. You got me after.
It got me.
Didn't think it.
It got me pretty good. All right, compose ourselves.
Pokemon Go had a pretty big update, which
Yeah.
is, I think the problem with this update is actually like a lot of people got upset and started demanding what's it called refunds and stuff off of it.
Refunds.
Yeah, because
What kind
people
of
have bought
idiot
stuff,
pays?
right? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I certainly wasn't gonna pay. Oh, but I mean, I've
Apologies
also
if
kind
you're
of
one of the
dropped off
idiots
of
that pay.
it. I've dropped off of Pokemon Go. I've only opened it like a couple times since our last review. But I have opened it to check out the updates, and the updates seem to be you remember on your like bottom right hand side there's the little feeties to show where Pokemon are. First of all, it never worked to begin with.
It did work.
It didn't work.
All it
never
told you
worked.
was each little footprint represented 10 meters, and it didn't tell you which direction.
Exactly, and it was at all times 3 feeties. There was always 3 feet.
For me, there was 2 feet once.
No, I never had that. I always had 3 foot.
To be fair, me and some friends went to the park like 2 days after it came out, and there was an Abra within 30 meters of us, and we followed it for about 2 miles, and we never found it.
Yeah, see, so it didn't work. But people are really upset because they've just totally removed the feature now.
Oh, what was the dumb feature?
Well, to me, the obvious point
Wolfie,
is they've removed...
Wolfie.
Yeah.
It was a feature? Huh? Yeah? Yeah, I'll be here all week. Don't even worry. Carry on with your thought.
Okay.
I
think I just got diabetes.
Because of how sweet that joke was?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Alright, carry on.
So, the feature never worked. And to me, they removed it because they're going to fix it. Like, that seems pretty obvious to me. Because the feature is still there, right? Like, it's still showing you where it is. So to me, it's like, oh, they removed it to fix it. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
They'll take it out and they'll put it in the next patch. Lots of people didn't think that was the case at all. They just thought it was gone forever. And they really freaked out at Niantic. What are some other things that happened with it?
I'm pretty sad that the Power Saver mode is not there anymore. But it's probably, like you said, taken down so that...
well, it's just gone. I think it just is gone for iOS, like for iPhone. Like I still have it on my Android.
I think that they'll put it back when they fix it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. But see, the problem is they didn't have a community manager to talk to people about this, and a community manager is just literally that: somebody who fields questions, who does like, who talks to the people playing, who keeps a good conversation going between everybody. And a lot of people are like, well, why isn't, the director or somebody doing that? And as somebody who has worked in games, I can tell you that you go into work and you put your head down and you do your one job that you were hired for. And anything else, you're like, screw it. That's not my department. I'm here for this specifically. I'm getting paid for this one thing. Yeah, I'm here for one thing, and that's to do this. So it's not a surprise to me that without a community manager, there was nobody talking to anybody.
Yeah.
But so it sounds like they're still trying to hire somebody for that. They did kind of put out a little, I can't remember if it was on Twitter or their Facebook, that they were like, well, here's the reasons that we took some stuff out. Here's the reasons that, what's going on, and we'll try to do better in the future.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I think their Twitter got hacked or something.
Oh my goodness.
So that was, as much fun as that's gonna be.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Pokemon Go? Because I'm pretty much done with it, to be honest. Like as I predicted, I'm over it.
You're over it.
Pretty much. I'm like one step away from deleting it off of my phone at this point.
Oh, really? Okay, so you're
yeah.
like way over it.
Well, I don't even open it, so.
See, so I've opened it about 6 times.
Today?
And since... no. I've opened it about 6 times since we made our Pokemon Go review.
Okay, so that was like 2 weeks ago.
I tell you what.
Speaking of which, if you haven't seen our Pokemon Go review, go ahead and click the button I just put up to go and check it out.
Science. Freaking science. But pretty much I heard there was an update, opened it, checked it out. I appreciated the little note that says, don't play Pokemon Go and drive.
Right. Yeah.
Or don't trespass while playing Pokemon Go. Or don't play Pokemon Go in dangerous places. All things that, you know, common sense type
pretty
of deals.
Obvious stuff.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think I'm pretty close to being over it. I have some friends that are like level 23 and 24 and stuff
Holy
like that.
Crap.
I've seen people at gyms that are level 28. I think 28 or 29 is the highest I've seen.
Jeez.
I am level 16. I have been level 16 since the first weekend because that's when I really played it and didn't really play it much after that. Haven't leveled up since that like first weekend there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know if I'll be completely over it for a couple more weeks or not, but that's pretty much where the Dutch is at with Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I expected to happen, and I think that's what's going to happen to most people.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving along.
Yes.
So, The Killing Joke, which...
Spoilers.
Somebody... Well, it's not spoilers yet.
Oh, not
Killing
spoilers.
Joke. Well, I mean spoilers if you haven't watched our last episode where you talk about the fact that you were stupid and didn't pre-buy tickets.
Yeah, you know...
to see it.
My 2 flaws in life are being bad at Mario and not pre-ordering movie
Being an
tickets.
idiot, I know. Well,
Or
I'm
that.
clear. I hear you. I just want to, because I've heard things about it, and I've watched bits and pieces of it. I'm not really gonna go out of my way to watch it.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in it and you're like, man, I don't know if I should, make time to watch it. I'll try and help you out here. To me, The Killing Joke, and it was kind of in an era where I stopped being interested in comics.
Uh-huh.
Just because they were getting getting really gritty and dark for me. Just I'm cool with comics exploring different areas, but in this case they were really starting to take risks, and it was kind of the crumbling of the comic code. This was like and especially this book was one of the first comics to kind of take a brick out of the wall and be like, you know what, we're gonna do whatever we feel like doing.
Yeah.
So this is where it's gonna get spoilery. If you don't want spoilers about it, skip ahead. I'm gonna give myself 5 minutes. All right, I'm watching the timer. 5 minutes. Right. I'm gonna hit every point I need to hit. Okay,
and
go. So the book is basically, you have a lot of torment going at Batman, where Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, she gets shot and paralyzed, which she ends up becoming the Oracle later on, and she actually becomes kind of an interesting character in that way. You have Jim Gordon, who gets captured and what's the word? Tormented and I can't think of the other word. Tortured, that's the word I'm looking for. Tortured. He totally gets tortured. You get the same thing with Robin and basically everybody that Bruce Wayne knows, including, I believe, and like I said, I read this in the early 2000s, but it also happens to his butler. So
Alfred.
throughout
You
the
don't know
whole
Alfred?
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to move fast on this because I got
Right,
5 minutes, so I'm just trying to think ahead of the whole arc. So it's kind of, if I remember right, it's kind of loosely adapted from The Man Behind the Red Hood, which was a 1951 one, and it was written by Alan Moore, and the artist was Brian Boland, I think. Alan Moore did a lot of comics. He's quite famous. So it's a very long, like, if you want to see somebody mess with Batman, this is the book. And so basically, by the end of the book, first of all, apparently the movie itself, the first 40 minutes are garbage, and it's just like watching the Batman animated show. And from what I understand, and I've heard, that it's basically just to stretch it to an hour and 45 minutes. It's really the 45 minutes that is the actual book. So by the end of it, in the end of the book, and this is really the part that I have no interest in seeing the movie, but hearing this ending makes me kind of happy, because I remember the end really stuck with me from the comic, because at the end of it, finally Batman's got the Joker. It's over. This is the last couple pages. You know, he's about to take all of his rage of, like, the Joker is totally destroyed his whole world, turned it upside down, killed people, paralyzed his friends. Nothing's ever going to be the same again. And the Joker is like, hey, do you want to hear a joke? And Batman's like, I guess so. And basically the Joker tells this stupid joke about two prisoners from Arkham. And I get that it's supposed to be thematic and it's supposed to do the over arc of the whole book, but it's dumb. The joke is not good at all. It's not even a joke. It's just like a story that doesn't make sense and leaves a lot to the imagination. And so he tells this joke to Batman, and they just start laughing. Like, they both laugh. And it's not like Batman is laughing from insanity. They just both laugh at this joke, and that's the end of the book. That's it. That's the end. They both laugh.
Yeah.
He tells a joke. It's funny. And, like, before you're like, wow, blah, 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 blah. It could mean this. No, they talked to the author, Alan Moore. They asked him at a panel what he thinks, and he's like, no, they're just laughing at a joke. That's all it is. It's just a joke that they're laughing at. Which really bothered me, because I was like, you have this whole dark storyline. You almost try to tie it together with this story of two men from Arkham who are the same but different, and the story doesn't even make sense within the story, and then they're just laughing at a joke. But the thing that they fixed in the movie is, as it tilts down, like the last couple minutes of the movie, it starts to tilt down, and they're both laughing, like the comic book. And then all of a sudden, Joker's laughs peters off, and it's just Batman laughing. And it's almost leading you to believe that Batman is choking the Joker or killing him, or has snapped his neck, finally, and is now kind of twisted, which is how the comic should have ended if you want to take that gritty line. I'm fine with it. Last comment, because I'm coming up on 5 minutes. They made it R just because they could. There's no reason for it to be R, from what I understand. There's no blood. There's no nothing. There's no F-bombs. There's nothing worth it being R. It's just R for shock value. And that's it. Boom, done. But you know what? After all that, I really just have one serious question, Dutch.
It's 5 minutes.
I find myself pondering this question. That's fine. We can come back. We're done with spoilers, because this question is not a spoiler.
Okay.
And it's something I find myself pondering at random times in the day. What is the Dutch reading?
I am glad you asked. Do you really want to know what the Dutch is reading?
Yeah, what is the Dutch reading?
Well, recently, good Wolfie, sir, I have been reading Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Oh, interesting.
Main writer is Scott Lobdell. I think I'm saying that right. There's a reason I read comic books, not regular books, and it's because of stuff like that.
Right.
And so if you know kind of anything about Batman, it's that he goes through Robins really fast, right? So Red Hood is a former Robin who super died, all right? And his name is Jason Todd. Joker beat him to death, I believe, with a crowbar.
I think that's Death in the Family,
I'm pretty sure
right?
it was... I think so.
I'm pretty sure. That's Jason
I
Todd,
don't even remember. Jason,
that one's from the 80s.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But anyway, Red Hood, fantastic character. He's angry because Batman did not avenge his death by killing the Joker. It's a pretty widely known fact that, oh, by the way, he got resurrected. I don't know if I mentioned that, but he was killed by the Joker as Robin. Yeah. And he was resurrected in the Lazarus Pit. And the Lazarus Pit, it kind of messes with you, right? Makes you kind of batty for a while. But the premise of this Red Hood, and this is New 52. It's called Red Hood and the Outlaws. It's Red Hood, Arsenal, and Starfire. If you grew up watching Teen Titans like I did, you know who Starfire is. Is a very, very, very different Starfire in the New 52 comic books than in the old innocent Teen Titans. But Arsenal, you may know, he's the sidekick of Green Arrow at one point. He is no longer, and they are all three of them fugitives, which is why they are the Outlaws. Fantastic.
Is it a spoiler to say why they're fugitives? Is that a spoiler?
What do you mean? Is that a spoiler? Oh. No, not really. Not really terribly much of a spoiler. But Starfire is a fugitive. She's an outlaw because she why can't I think? Because she's an alien and they don't want her on the planet, essentially. And Red Hood is wanted because he became like a crime lord at one point so that he could make enough money so that he could get revenge on Batman. But that stuff all happened before the events of the first issue in the New 52, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
And as for Arsenal, this one has not entirely been explained yet in the New 52 arc, but from what I could tell, Green Arrow kicked him off of a building, and he felt super betrayed and became a crazy alcoholic and was just in a terrible place, and eventually came to his senses and started fighting crime with Red Hood. That was like a really super short version of the little background.
Did you say Green Arrow is in this?
No, Green Arrow's
not in
why
it.
can't I think of it? His old sidekick, Arsenal. Green Arrow, I have not seen him in it yet. I have read volumes 1 and 2, which encompass issues 1 through 14 of Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Is it worth reading?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you recommend it?
It's
a recommendation?
I think I talked about Teen Titans a little bit a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple afternoons ago. It's a little bit grittier than Teen Titans. It's a bit grittier than Teen Titans. It has great art. It's easy to follow. The bad guys are fantastic. And it ties in really well with the other New 52 storylines.
I just had a thought, and this is kind of connected.
Okay.
Is it odd to you that Cyborg is going to be in the new Justice League movie and not Green Arrow and not Martian Manhunter? Like, do you think it's an odd choice that they chose Cyborg over those two?
You know, I never thought about it, but yeah, that is kind of weird. But
I just
up,
thought about that. I would have rather had Green Arrow.
I don't know. I think your Martian Manhunter idea, that's awesome. We haven't seen him on film since, like, Smallville, and he didn't really look like the Martian Manhunter because, in
maybe that's just because I'm used to the animated Justice League, but
yeah.
But I was like, and Cyborg doesn't really look great in the trailer.
Oh, you didn't think so? I thought he looked all right.
I thought he looked real bad.
Oh, huh. Maybe I'll have to rewatch that. But no, like as far as Cyborg or no Cyborg in it, I think it's cool that he's finally getting a screen time.
Sure. But in terms of Justice League, do you think that's the right call?
I think he was the right choice?
Yeah.
I think there could have been a better... there could have definitely been a better choice of a Justice League member than Cyborg.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Well,
but who could have been it? Who could it have been other than like we see Green Arrow all the time with Arrow, the show, obviously.
I would have chosen, if you're talking about that, I would have either chosen Green Lantern or Martian Manhunter.
That could have been a really redeeming factor for Green Lantern.
They have to redeem Green Lantern, yeah.
Yeah, it was not fantastic.
I wouldn't even do Hal Jordan. I wouldn't do Human. I'd take the original Alien guy. I can't think of his name right now.
I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, I'd go with him, and then maybe within a movie or two have him die, and then give the ring to Hal Jordan. That's what I would have done.
That'd be interesting.
Have him die at the beginning of, or have him die in the middle or at the end of Justice League, and then the final, maybe after the credits, you see some dude find the ring. I don't know, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, that could work. You know what? I just decided I want to see.
What's that?
I want to see Shazam. I want to see a Shazam movie. I want to see that.
Isn't that... oh no. Who's The Rock going to be? The Rock's being somebody, but I guess it's not Shazam.
The Rock is being Shazam? Somebody?
Yeah. He definitely is somebody. I am Googling it right now.
That's Rock. Cool. I know he was Hercules.
Superhero.
Please.
I guess I should put Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson, superhero. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson's gonna be Shazam. Fun little fact for you.
That is a fun little fact. Alright. I believe that brings us to the conclusion of this afternoon.
I believe so. Thank you so much for joining us on this afternoon. As always, feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more. Give us a like and a favorite. Comment down below your thoughts and comments. Go ahead and join us on Twitter. I feel like we should get more into the Twitter game.
Yeah, we probably should.
If you're interested in seeing our Twitter thoughts, follow us over there at Wolfie_the_Dutch. And as always, I'm Wolfie.
And I'm the Dutch.
And we'll see you next afternoon.